President Donald Trump now taking the fight over the attempt to restrict automatic U.S. birthright citizenship to the Supreme Court. So this as the Republican president's administration asked the justices to narrow a judicial block imposed on this approach toward immigration. I want to bring in Chief Legal Analyst RHODES to this conversation. Let's start with the confusing part right there. I mean, what does it mean when you say a judicial block? I mean, for immigration, I'm just a narrow judicial block at that point.
Alicia, there's a lot of confusing parts. So
right.
I'll hit the first confusing part in what you asked about, which is what they want him to narrow. The judge blocked everything, that you can't roll this out, you can't do anything. And what the Trump administration is asking is, can we at least talk about it? Mm-hmm. Can we put up the advertisements? Can we start to roll this out? If you're looking at it like it's a social media thing, we're not going to do a whole thing. We're just going to do a soft launch. Do we have the authorization to do that? And that's what they're asking the court, because the judge said you can't do any of this. I'm going to stop you from doing all this and then wait until I make a final decision. Mm-hmm. They're basically asking the court, well, we know you want to make a decision, but while you're making your decision, can we still do some of this? I think the court is likely to say no, because it will still cause harm if they do this. Imagine if they start putting up social media posts or putting up flyers saying that this is the way that we're going to go, or stop accepting different documentations. Then yeah, you're actually doing exactly what you were trying to do and what the judge said you can't do. But that's not the only confusing part. This whole thing is confusing. Right. We're not just talking about birthright citizenship. We're also talking about First Amendment arguments. We're also talking about, does a judge on a district court level have an opportunity to do a mass injunction across the country? And that is the larger question. That's the question that really this court wants to talk about. That's the question that is going to have far-reaching implications. While the citizenship is major, that one is probably one argument that I'll be watching the whole time.
All right, so President Trump is taking this all the way up to the Supreme Court. Make this very clear as to what we're talking about here so that everybody can understand. What is the goal? The goal is to,
have you ever seen those superhero movies where they have a force field and you're trying to figure out how you can break in the force field, how you can get past the force field? Well, you're checking the defenses. I may check it here and see if it lights up. I check it here and see if it lights up. That's what the Trump administration is doing. They're challenging things on the federal level to a United States District Court, specifically to see how that court rules. Because if the court rules in their favor, great. If the court rules against them, I can take it to the Court of Appeals. And if that Court of Appeals rules against me, they got 13 opportunities. Mm-hmm. Guess what? I can get it to go to the Supreme Court. All roads lead to the Supreme Court. If I can get that Supreme Court who wants to hear these type of cases, who's ripe to hear a case like this, when you have conflicting opinions from different U.S. District Court judges, it will allow this administration to get exactly what they want to do. Right. 5 conservative judges on the bench now has said they want to address this issue. Specifically, can an individual district court judge make a broad injunction for the whole United States? That's an issue they've never addressed before. So they're ready to hear that question. That's what they're attempting to do here. Even though the birthright citizenship is the way they're doing it, it's any case that gets us in front of the court that stops U.S. District Court judges from making permanent injunctions across the country.
So how do you see this playing out?
I can say the precedent is behind the courts to not touch it, and they haven't. So I think they will touch this case and listen to it. But I even think that the case law and the precedent still stands behind that if a United States District Court judge says that this injunction is addressing this individual issue, that it would have to be nationwide. And why? Most of the things they're addressing have nationwide implications. The President of the United States makes an executive order not for Minneapolis, not for Florida, but for the whole United States. So if I challenge his authority to do it, it can't just be for that individual basis. It has to be for the whole thing. And so I think it would be as unlikely to see change as anything I've ever seen. 50 years of precedent with Roe v. Wade, that would be that level of magnitude if they went the other way and said, you know what, they only can do it for local things as opposed to nationwide.
Wow. Well, in your analogy, I did like that. And you know I'm the Black Panther, right? Okay, talking about superheroes. Kelly Froze, appreciate your insight as always.
For sure.
All right, thanks.